If you've ever tried to book a child in for earwax removal at a private clinic, you've probably found that a lot of clinics simply won't do it. Some have a minimum age, some just say no outright, and if you're a parent who's been turned away, especially at a time when the NHS isn't exactly falling over itself to help either, that can feel really frustrating. Now here at Audiology Associates, we are qualified and insured to see paediatric patients, and we do it regularly, but today I want to explain exactly why so many clinics can't offer that, because there are proper professional rules around this, and they've been updated recently, and honestly, they're worth knowing about, whether you're a parent or a clinician. First, and bear with me here because this is actually quite interesting, it's worth understanding why children can't just be treated the same way as adults. Now, a child's ear canal is shorter, it's narrower, and it's shaped differently to an adult's. That changes as they grow, but in younger children, it means there's less room to work and frankly, less room for error. Now, children are also less able to cooperate during a procedure, so an adult can tell you clearly if something's uncomfortable or if they feel dizzy. A young child might not have the words for that, or they might just decide to move at entirely the wrong moment. Now, anyone who's ever tried to get a 5-year-old to sit completely still for 2 minutes will know exactly what I mean. There's also the question of consent. A child can't give their own legal consent in the same way an adult can. A parent or guardian needs to be there, fully informed and agreeing to the procedure on the child's behalf. So what does the guidance actually say? Well, there are 2 key documents that govern earwax removal practice in the UK. The first is the BSA Practice Guidance on Aural Care. Now, the BSA stands for British Society of Audiology. Now, this was updated in July 2025. It states clearly that anyone under 18 is outside the scope of standard practice. So that means clinicians need additional training, appropriate facilities, and insurance that specifically covers working with younger patients, not just a standard adult aural care certificate, something above and beyond that. The second document is the minimum training standards for aural care, published in June 2025 by the BSA alongside the NACSG. Now, this is the National Aural Care Strategy Group, which I'll come back to in a moment, but this document defines pediatric patients as anyone aged 4 to 19. So here's the bit that surprises a lot of people. An 18 or 19-year-old is still classified as a pediatric patient under these standards. An adult, for aural care purposes, is someone aged 20 and above. So both definitions come from CQC guidance on registered activities. So if you're a clinician watching this, the practical takeaway is straightforward. Treat anyone under 20 as a pediatric patient and make sure your training and your insurance actually reflect that. Right, the NACSG. Now, this is the National Aural Care Strategy Group, and this was set up in 2023 because, to put it plainly, there were some real concerns about the standard of earwax removal practice across the UK. Training quality was all over the place, and some people were performing the procedure with very little clinical background at all. The group brings together professional bodies, regulators, training providers, and patient groups, and they're all working to pull standards in the right direction. Their work is what produced the new training standards we're talking about today. So in terms of age and which pathway is appropriate, the Welsh Government's national pathway for earwax management gives us a really helpful breakdown. For children under 4, a private earwax clinic is simply not the right place. The correct route is a GP, a paediatric audiology service, or ENT, full stop. For children aged 5 to 10, they can be referred to an earwax management service, but only one with specific skills for managing children. And that's a meaningfully higher bar than a standard adult clinic. From age 11 upwards, a parent can refer directly to an earwax management service, though as we've established, the clinician still needs the right training and insurance for younger patients, all the way up to age 19. So what does the right training actually look like? And this is where it gets a little awkward. The BSA and the NACSG have dedicated an entire section of their 2025 training standards to aural care on patients aged 4 to 19, making clear it requires separate and additional training beyond the adult qualification, which is exactly right. The problem is, at the time of filming this, there's no standalone accredited paediatric earwax removal training course available in the UK private sector. None. The framework exists on paper, but the courses to actually deliver it aren't there yet. So what that means in practice is that the clinicians who do see children are generally those who have come through NHS Paediatric Audiology or ENT, where working with younger patients is part of the everyday job and proper supervision is built in. Now that's a very different background to someone who has done an adult wax removal course and decided to extend their age range. So if you're a parent looking for a private clinic that sees children, the most useful question to ask isn't what certificate the clinician holds. It's what their actual background with children is. Have they worked in paediatric audiology? Do they have real supervised experience with younger patients? And does their insurance explicitly cover it? A good clinic will be able to answer all of that without hesitation. The reason this is also relevant right now is that NHS earwax services have become much harder to access. A 2025 investigation by the RNID found that 6 of England's 42 integrated care boards don't commission earwax removal at all, with another 13 offering only a very limited service. So more and more families are turning to private clinics, and that very much includes parents trying to find help for their children. The new training standards are a direct response to that. The aim is to make sure that as the private sector grows, the quality of care keeps pace, and that children are only seen by clinicians who genuinely know what they're doing. So to bring all this together, children under 18 are outside the scope of standard Aural Care practice under the BSA guidance, and under the training standards, the paediatric definition stretches all the way up to 19. The younger the child, the more specialist the setting needs to be, with under 4s being a GP or ENT referral only. The professional framework is now clearly in place, but the training courses to support it are still catching up. It's a work in progress and it's moving in the right direction. Now, if you're based in South Wales and you're looking for a clinic that can help your child, we'd love to hear from you. At Audiology Associates, we are qualified, experienced, and insured to carry out earwax removal on paediatric patients. The booking link is in the description below. Just get in touch and we'll take it from there. There are more videos on this channel covering all things ear health. The playlist link is below too. And if there's something you'd like us to cover in a future Teaching Tuesday, drop it in the comments. We do actually read them, I promise. But as always, guys, take care of yourselves, take care of your ears, and really importantly, take care of one another. And I'll see you for the next video. Bye, everybody.